Conan the Barbarian becomes an Avenger. What's up, everybody? I'm Stan, and welcome to Detail Comics, where we go over comics in detail. This is an iRate review, where I'm going to go over a comic book, and the one that we're talking about right now is Avengers No Road Home number 6. And this is written by Al Ewing, Jim Zub, Mark Waid, with art by Sean Isaacs, Paco Medina, and a number of other different people on these various titles. In this issue, we're actually going to see what happens after the conclusion of issue number 5, where Scarlet Witch has now been sent to the land of Conan the Barbarian. How is he going to defend this Avenger when she can't even see herself? But let's dive in and see what's going on. At the conclusion of Avengers No Road Home number 5, we found Conan saving Scarlet Witch, and the only question remaining is how is Conan going to be involved inside an Avengers title like this one? While we do get a recap of No Road Home number 5, with Wanda waking up screaming next to Conan the Barbarian at the side of a campfire, they have decided that they need to move forward. And the one thing that we're going to notice is that the narrative formula has somewhat changed. While we have had different focuses on individual characters, and they've really been focused on internal monologues provided by those characters, this is more of a narrative format, and we're going to be getting Conan's story being told almost like a book instead of being an internal monologue, or it's just him talking in kind of a third person. So it's a really interesting concept. So while Conan and Scarlet Witch make their way across the desert, fighting off bandits, him slaying everyone in sight, her blind and trying to help when she can, fighting off monsters of the darkness in the depths of the sandy desert, this giant scorpion comes, and it just leads to this phenomenal battle between Conan with the assistance of the Scarlet Witch, but he is just made out of steel and sand and just this ferocious beast of a man attacking this giant thing without any source of recourse. The way that the writers have penned this character just feels very much like Conan the Barbarian. He's just like, ready your foul magics, witch, and it's just so cool. It's as if women are a second-class citizen inside of society, but not quite. It's just his mannerisms, his way of speaking really harken back to that kind of Conan the Barbarian that we all know and love. And while Scarlet Witch is blind, she does the best that she can, firing her witch bolt magic into this beast, and they finally slay it. However, it did cost them a casualty. Their horse is no longer with them, but he does seem to make a fine dinner. But of course, through combat, people tend to bond, so Scarlet Witch and Conan the Barbarian share some pleasantries and try to understand each other. While Scarlet Witch thinks Conan cruel, Crom doesn't ask for prayers, and Crom is who Conan the Barbarian serves. So as they continue to make their adventures through this desert, Wanda dazzling the people of the oasis so they can buy a camel, Conan threatening the bandits so they find out who they need to go to, and when they finally come upon the camp of the people that have actually taken this shard of night, this piece of Nyx's soul, they find that it has already been raided and everyone has been left slain. So while Wanda cannot see it, she can smell, she can basically feel the stench of death upon these people. But because of the stylized skull, the emblem that is on this man, Conan knows who they are and where they need to go. They need to go to Shadazar, the wicked city, and one where he is not so much welcome. But while Wanda expects Conan to abandon her, this woman in distress, he is a Sumerian, and Sumerians forge their promises like steel, so his word is his bond. So the adventure continues, the travel, the bond, the sharing of the experience on the road, and the tightness of the relationship that they develop continues, almost to a romantic point, but we'll get to that a little bit later, because Scarlet Witch is still focused on things that are happening outside of her experience. While weeks may have passed inside her current land, it feels like only moments have gone by in the world outside of there. In the land of nightmares, one of the darkest beings in existence has taken possession of the shard of Nyx's soul, and that is the Hulk. The immortal Hulk has it in his hands. Conan seeing through the eyes of Hawkeye, this exchange going on between them. Nightmare not necessarily knowing how to access the power, but the Hulk knowing that this is his true purpose. He has decided to end the world of man, and that's something you can see inside Immortal Hulk if you want to go catch up on what the Hulk is currently doing. But he decided that this power, this is something that he has the ability to access as a creature of nightmares himself, and he cracks the shard of Nyx's soul, absorbing this dark energy into himself, turning this cement gray color and kind of harkening back to a bit more classic look for the Hulk himself. And this is where this narration that coincides with Conan really matches up with the story, because he knows of the god that lives on the mountain, someone savage and cold and hurtful, and he knows that this, the Hulk, the monster he sees in his visions, is a creature of Crom himself. And they wake up both screaming, Conan thinking that Wanda has forced this vision into his head, while she cries out for Bruce, knowing that he might never come back from this kind of experience. Permanent night reigning over the Hulk himself. And this is where they come close. They share this bond. While they don't necessarily kiss, the romance isn't quite there, they both understand that this connection is something more, but they have others. Bellet was the love of Conan's life, while Wanda has someone back home. However, they have a mission. They need to go go inside Shadowzar, and that is what they do. He searches for the specific symbols that are necessary, ones that detail shops that travel in magics. So they search the city, finding a place that deals in these kind of things, and we actually get an entire page of the negotiations between the shop merchant and Conan, which is relatively entertaining. But when they finally make the purchase and receive the information that they need, it's complete surprise as Conan just tears the magical edges off of the garment and says to Wanda, wrap these around your head so that way she now has this kind of blind bandana to keep her from seeing the shards of night. And as they stumble upon this cult of crows looking to use the shard in some sort of sacrificial altar, this blonde woman laying there bound for doom, Conan's instincts kick in. Now is not a time for words, it is a time for action, and they shall taste the steel of Conan the Barbarian. He will drench this altar in their blood, and blood is something that will come across the altar as the shard falls from this guy's hand and lands itself on the sacrifice, blood spilling onto the altar, and just enough red crimson touches the stone to giant claws of the raven, the crow, coming out of the sky, a portal created to this unknown demigod of a bird, and Conan continues to battle, just slashing his savage sword across anything that comes across his path. The woman flees, goes to find Wanda. She comes across her, looking for help, and puts the shard into her hand, and sight isn't the only way to communicate. She feels the tension of Nyx, knowing now where the shard is going to be arriving sometime soon, and the crackle of black magical energies surround them as we now see Nyx, the goddess of darkness, coming through with Apate, Dolos, Misery, and Voyager in tow. They are about to go toe-to-toe with Conan the Barbarian, as well as Wanda, the Scarlet Witch, looking to get this shard that they had lost in battle. And that's where we're going to end issue number 6. And overall, this is 30-plus pages of amazing storytelling. The way that they wove Conan into the mythology, or actually into the series, was pretty fantastic. By sending Wanda to a completely different land, it allowed us to immerse her into the actual character and setting for Conan the Barbarian, instead of trying to force him into the Marvel Universe. However, consequences of this particular episode, this escapade, might bring Conan back into the Marvel Universe, which is why we might see him on Savage Avengers, written by Jerry Dugan. Overall, the art by Sean Isaacs continues to be fantastic, and the coloring is a pretty stellar job. It really enhances the experience, especially inside the world of Conan. I mean, the way that you're drawing the sands and the desert, the way that everything kind of erupts in this color that signifies that we're no longer in the main Marvel Universe, especially this kind of border trimming that they did with the panels, looks fantastic, and it really complements the story. I'm a real big fan of Avengers No Road Home, and I think number 6, while a strong departure from the rest of the storyline, especially with the moments like Hulk, this is just a really solid, well put together issue that is going to keep people coming back for more. But I want to know what you guys think, so hit me up in the comments down below and we can start that conversation. As always, if you like what you see, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to get more news, reviews, and commentary on comic books and more.